Last week, we began to explore the different approaches that we may take to spirituality. We thought about how some of us are more word centered in the way we work out our faith, focusing more on the importance of words, of using the right words in the right way, and of gaining knowledge to help us understand more about God. We also considered how some of us are more emotion centered, placing feelings at the core of our spirituality and maybe responding in a really deep way to music and the arts. Today, we're going to think about two more spiritual styles: the journey of mystery and the road to justice. The first of these, the journey of mystery, is a symbol-centered approach to spirituality. People who prefer this style value symbols, images and metaphors over concrete words and emotions. They are what we might term mystics, who see God as ultimate mystery, the being that surpasses all understanding. They may be inspired by visual images or poetic descriptions of the divine. People with this style value a deep sensing of God's presence. When they sense God, they may not wish to speak about the experience, for words cannot describe these inspirational encounters. For them, God and experiences of God can never be fully understood, and attempts to contain them or explain them are seen as rendering these experiences powerless. The spiritual goal is a coming together, a union with the indescribable, perfect God. Nature is an important area where people with a preference for this style may encounter God. God is sensed through the beauty, awe and wonder of the natural world. But God also shows up for symbol-centered people through beautiful and inspiring works of art and architectural marvels. God can be felt in a babbling brook or through a majestic stained-glass window. Symbol-centered people often sense God in times of silence, quiet and solitude. In addition to encounters with God in nature, spiritual practices like centering prayer, Gregorian chants, silent retreats and meditating on icons are ways of tapping into the great mystery of mysteries. The last of our spiritual styles, an action-centered approach to spirituality, is based on a seemingly unquenchable thirst for justice. Instead of focusing on what one thinks, feels or senses, people of this style focus on what brings about positive transformation in the world. They are activists who would rather get to work than attend another book study or worship service. Spirituality is more lived than spoken or felt. Action-centered people encounter God and nourish their spiritual lives through work to change the world. God is seen in the cry of the poor rather than the beauty of an icon. Motivated by relentless passion and deep union with the needs of the world, people who express this style might stop at nothing to fulfill their unswerving mission to bring justice, healing and wholeness to the world. Their aim is starting change by working to lessen harmful forces in society and bringing about justice in the world that God loves. An action-centered approach can be isolating, for zealousness, eagerness to get on and do something can be misunderstood as impatience and single-mindedness. While a word person might want to stop and clearly map out the most appropriate way to act in a situation, an action-centered person might see this talk as a waste of time. They just want to roll up their sleeves and start chipping away at injustice. So, 4 spiritual styles: the path of the intellect, the way of the emotions, The journey of mystery, the road to justice. Each one with God at the centre, but a different preference for the way we encounter God. As I think about each of these styles, I can see that at different times of my life they have each played a significant part in my spiritual walk, each one assuming dominance at certain times. And I suppose that each one of these areas has been of spiritual benefit and comfort to me. I wonder if you too feel that over the course of your spiritual journey you have encountered each of these, or perhaps you have found a style that you enjoy which helps your spiritual growth and you focused more on that. As so often is the case, there are no rights or wrongs with this. No one path is better than the other. But what we can all do is to enjoy listening to and learning from each other's experiences.